glad you could join us tonight. Tonight we have two special guests. We have Neil Boron from WDCX, and he'll be talking about his event with C-vid. We're calling it C-vid because we have been scrutinized before for using the full word. So we're not going to go there. So tonight we're referring to C-vid and what was happening back in 2021 and 2022. Everybody remembers that time in history. And then we have 10 minutes, which we will play with some testimonies of what happened, and then we'll have Hannah on. I've temporarily forgot. So anyways, we'll do it that way. So here we go. Just want to mention we have a Palm Ultimate that somebody's going to win by joining us tonight, or not tonight, one of the nights. Every time you watch us to the end, or close to the end, we put a ballot in. So if you watch us 4 times, you get 4 ballots for that month. At the end of the month, we do a randomized draw with the ballots that we have, and somebody will win this $1,300 Palm Ultimate. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to start with Neil Boron. Well, hello, Neil.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, good. Well, it's kind of obvious behind you that you're from WDCX, but tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York area. God has made it possible for me to call this place home. I think for 2 years we lived in Washington, D.C. when I was working for Focus on the Family. But other than that, the other thing is my mom was from Canada and my dad was from the U.S. And I've considered it a great joy to be able to minister on both sides of the border. I have aunts and uncles and cousins all across Canada and family here in the U.S. So how unique that God, many years ago, decided I would work at a border station and be able to reach both countries with the gospel of Jesus. Hallelujah. I love that.
How he sets things up,
Yeah,
he knows everything about where you're going to start in life, where you're going to go through, how you're going to get
100%.
through this. And in the meantime, we're like, how's this going to work out? Well, he's got it figured out, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. Yeah.
and so you've been with the station now for a long time.
Well, I've
Uh,
had a couple, like I said, I moved to Washington for a couple years. I also spent 8 years in pastoral ministry. So, but total combined, I'm getting close to 30 years, but I actually began here during the summer of 1979, if you can believe that. So there's a lot of people watching this podcast, this webinar right now that weren't even born in 1979. But yeah, that's when I began here.
yeah, I had my first business when I was in when I was 15. And it was called Kerbertronics, and
No kidding.
that was in 1975. So
Really?
yeah, yeah.
So you started that after they hired you to rewire the Pentagon? Is that what happened? Yeah.
Yeah. So Neil, what brings us together? First of all, not only did I listen to WDCX in my early days of being a Christian, and I couldn't get enough of listening to the station, listening to folks like Chuck Swindoll and Charles Stanley and even Vernon McGee and all the other Chuck Smiths, Chuck Swindoll. Oh man, that was good stuff. And then we moved to Woodstock, which was 2 hours away from Niagara Lake, and we could not pick up WDCX. And I was actually thinking at the time, I met with a doctor friend, and I said, my wife had said, we should have Christian, why can't we get Christian radio here? And I says, I think I can work on that. And I was thinking about trying to get a station outside of Woodstock where there was actually some signal, and then put it through telephone lines and do a pirate radio station in Woodstock. Just to
Yeah.
broadcast to Woodstock with like 10 watts of power or something. I had done different types of transmitters before, so this was no big deal for me to try and do this. But then we
Unbelievable.
we found out how illegal it was to have a Christian radio station in Canada, and then also rebroadcast a U.S. station. Oh no, you can't do that. So it wasn't till we started a group called Sound of Faith Broadcasting, and it wasn't until 13 years later before
Wow.
until that's when our prayers were answered, and three low power stations got started, from London, Ontario to Woodstock, Ontario to Kitchener, Ontario, serving probably what, 1.5 million people, something like that,
Wow.
total, through these three
Yeah.
little low power stations. And you've got a very good footprint, or you had for a good long time a very big footprint until CRTC started giving away frequencies on 99.5 and
Yeah, yeah,
kill.
they cut into the signal, but we still reach in the neighborhood of 8 to 9 million people between. We reach to the eastern edge of Pennsylvania, so Erie, PA, Buffalo, New York, Niagara Falls, Rochester, and then in Fort Erie, Niagara Falls, St. Catharines, Hamilton, Burlington, Toronto, Oshawa, and
Yeah.
beyond. But there's areas like Woodstock where there's a 99.5 that creates a little signal problem. But let me just say, we live in the age of the internet,
Yes.
and with our WDCX Radio app, download it. You can click a button and listen anywhere on the planet
Yeah. And
in
I've
an
done that.
instant.
I've
Yeah,
done that. Yeah.
or live stream it at WDCXradio.com. Yeah.
So we've met each other a number of times over the years, going way back,
Yep.
and a few times along the way. But and then there was an amazing story that one time happened where there was one young girl. She had the bad C, I'll call it that, and
Hmm.
she was paralyzed from the waist down. And because of your station, a pastor ended up hearing it, and it was just an amazing set of circumstances. When I was only on for like a 2 minute pitch, you had a Christmas in July, and it was July 25th. It was the first time you did it.
Mm.
You did it because there was a screw up in your station in the afternoon. You had an hour to that all of a sudden you didn't know what to put in there. And I remember you had this call-in program where you could give something away. And I heard somebody say, I've got a fridge and I'll give it to somebody in need of a fridge. And then somebody else said, hey, I'm a roofer and I'll give away a free roof to a single mother, that's in financial straits. And I heard that kind of stuff and I thought, how can I help? And I thought, hey, I could give away 10, or six free pain treatments, and so I called in, and I remember you didn't know about that part of me, but you said, I said, I want to give away six free light treatments for pain, and I think you said like six free light treatments for pain. Like, what do you mean?
Well.
And that was picked up by a pastor in Toronto. And you know how God works is just that
Hmm.
the funny part was he had bought a brand new vehicle a whole year earlier. And I got to say, Neil, he dumped WDCX for satellite radio, okay, for a whole year. What do you know? But his subscription ran out. So he was
Praise the Lord.
yeah, he was trying to get the station to come in and couldn't figure out how to work the radio. And the next day he tried again and he just got it working, and I was on the air. And so I mean,
Only God.
this is two bullets, meeting each other from, 1,000 yards away. I mean, come on,
Yep.
there's just impossibilities, but with God, there's nothing impossible. So what happened was this girl, he called me and said this girl had severe pain, and she was paralyzed from the waist down, and we're able to see her go from paralyzed and a lot of pain. And three treatments, she was pain free. And I said, and then she did more treatments. And I said, look, no charge, just keep coming. And twice a week she was coming through. And in 1 month, she started getting feeling in her feet. after, and then she took her first step, and we got this all on video. And then about 3 months later, she's got her parents holding her arms, and she's waddling across, like waddling, kind of walking, but not good walking, but hey, she's walking at 3 months. And at 5 months, she's a normal kid walking across the floor.
Hallelujah.
And there was no other C treatments going on of any kind. They hadn't changed the diet or anything. So that's how, WDCX on that side of things that was so neat to see how this little girl was able to go from paralysis to
Amen.
walking in 5 months. And that was not only a whole bunch of prayer, but it was also, using light twice a week on this girl's back.
Yep.
And she was 8 years old. So beautiful stuff.
Hallelujah.
So
Yeah.
you got to know me a little bit, but what did you think of this crazy guy?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I've often said it's too bad you weren't around when Gilligan was on the island because that professor was good, but he didn't know how to get him off the island. Tom, you would have got everybody off the island immediately. And every time I think of you and any of your new inventions, I'm thinking of the guy on Back to the Future with the 1.21 gigawatts, that professor. But Tom, you're truly gifted by God to understand electronics and light waves and nanoseconds and nanometers and whatever. I mean, you live on a different planet. In fact, I tell a funny story. One day, Tom calls me, he goes, "Hey, I'm stuck in Buffalo. I need some help, or you got to come get something or whatever." I said, "Well, where are you?" And he said, "I'm in Niagara Falls right now, or near Niagara Falls, and I'm charging my battery in my car because I got a problem." I go, "Wait, what?" Anyway, I didn't know. He wanted to give me something. I had to come pick it up. So I meet him in the parking lot, and he's taken something that looks like a computer charger or phone charger or something, rewired it, plugged it into an electrical outlet at the bank, and he was charging his car battery in the
From the
parking
bank.
lot. I was like, what is going on? And the other thing was that you had a webinar coming up that night. It had to be a Tuesday,
Yeah.
and you had to get back to Canada, and somehow you were going to start the webinar while you're driving down the QEW. I don't know how you operate, brother, but it's on another level. And we just love how God has blessed you with talent to be able to help other people because that's how you use it. It's for His glory and to draw attention to Him. And the giftings that God has given you are truly special because
Mm.
so many people now, myself included, have been blessed.
So back in 2021, for I mentioned it in other podcasts, but I ended up with nearly dying through COVID. I ended up with a blood oxygen at 80%, and my son took me into the hospital. I had really bad C-vid. It turns out that was in 2021 in January 15th of 2022. That's when went into the hospital,
Hmm.
and they said I had really bad C-vid, and I had double lung pneumonia. And so the neat part, or the best part was, that probably saved my life, as the doctor kicked me out of the hospital because he didn't like the decisions I had made at the time. And he just said, "Go home, here's some antibiotics. If you get any better or you get any worse, come back in." Well, 80 is the tipping point of going
Yeah,
downhill.
yeah.
And so I used the mini canopy on my lungs, front and back. And every time I used it, my blood oxygen would climb 1 to 2%. And after 2.5 weeks, all of a sudden I coughed so bad, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going downhill. And so what I did is went back into the hospital because I couldn't stop coughing. And I asked them to do x-rays and everything. And they did everything. And this time I had a different doctor. And she said to me, "Your heart is good, your blood is good, but your lungs are exceptional." And that was in 2.5 weeks. I went from really bad double lung pneumonia to exceptional lungs. And they were surprised. And that's what set me up for the next thing that I found out is I was listening to WDCX, and I heard that your son said about you. So you could carry it on from there. But as soon as I heard that, I had to try and get a hold of you.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were sick because I hadn't been to work in a month, and I got C-vid really bad at the very tail end of 2021, like between Christmas and New Year's, and started the New Year's off just dead to the world. I was having trouble breathing. I was in pain. It was not a good scenario. I've had it several times since, and it's been no big deal. But that one really about knocked me out. And I, tested my blood oxygen level, and I was at somewhere between 79 and 82. And if you said 80 is the tipping point, I mean, I was right there. I might be 82 in a good moment, but if I got up and took a step, to grab a cup of coffee or something, I was back to 79. I was gasping for air. And should have been, taken by the paramedics to an emergency room to get treatment and a lung treatment and stuff. But when the paramedics came, we did call them 3 separate occasions. I thought I was going to buy the farm right there. And they gave me a treatment, a lung treatment with some kind of, I don't know, they do something for your lungs, probably not unlike what they do if you have asthma. I'm not sure. I don't know what they did, but it helped a little bit, but then I was right back to where I was. So we were going on a month of this, wasn't getting better. You heard about it and sent me a palm unit.
Yep.
And
One of
then
these guys here.
yeah, right there. Just hold that up for a second. I mean, it's not super intimidating. It's not that big, and especially when it's on, I think it's the near infrared setting.
Yeah, you
You
were
can't even
treating your
see you
lungs.
can't see the light.
Yeah.
But just like a dog can hear sound that we can't hear, that those light waves are real, and they penetrated my chest, got to the lungs, and began to heal my lungs. So you urged me to write down, and I have a journal somewhere that indicates the very next day my numbers started improving. In a matter of a week, I was tremendously better. I was back into the 90s, I climbed right out of the 80s. And by the end of the second week, it was gone. I was healed, and nothing had changed. Nothing had gotten better except the light therapy. And, the paramedics at various times begged me not to come to the hospital. They said, "You're going to sit in a hallway. There's no beds for you. There's no beds for anybody, and no one's going to treat you. So you're better off here. Your wife's a nurse. You're not delirious, but you're in big trouble." And we prayed about it. God answered the prayer when we got the light therapy unit, the palm unit. And in a matter of days, things were turning around. And then, oddly enough, I remember calling you to thank you for using light therapy to save my life. And you were still struggling with the repercussions. We were healing at about the same time,
Yeah.
but you had a little more memory fog and brain fog than I did. And for the one time in my life, I was finishing your sentences for you. I was filling in the blanks. Other than that, I got nothing to say to match what Tom Kerber can say. But yeah, it was a
Yeah.
miracle.
Oh, I was so screwed up. I was treating my lungs, and I talked to a doctor, and the doctor said to me, who knew about light therapy and how it could help with C-vid and the inflammation in the lungs. And I said to him, "Look, this is what's happening to my lungs, and I've improved to this and all that stuff." And he says, "Okay, Tom," he says, "how are you treating your brain with the light?" And I says, "I'm not." He says, "I can tell." He says, "I couldn't finish a sentence. I tried to get to certain words, they wouldn't come out. I knew what I wanted to say. It was like it's like a crippled brain. I couldn't get it out." And people were trying, like, "You finished my sentences?" Yeah. So that was the way I was. So then I started using the palm light, and then we ended up building this helmet, which is a very powerful helmet that a person puts on their head. And I know Neil has seen this thing, but it just, it just goes like this. It just goes on the head like that. And then we have the red and near infrared. So Neil has his comment on that too. He thinks it's kind of a strange looking device.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw it, and I've only got a couple minutes left here, but I
Yeah.
saw a video of your time in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, I think it was, where
Yes.
you treated a bunch of people with migraine headaches. And all of the same thing happened to them that happened when you and I were at the Twin Fish restaurant in Courtney Park Plaza in Mississauga. A woman came by, she had a migraine, 3-minute treatment, and she said the pain was gone. Well, these people in Oshkosh, one after another, were talking about the benefits of it. I literally have done the helmet before just to try it out, and I didn't have a headache, so I can't say that my headache went away or I wasn't experiencing migraine, but I've never felt more peaceful in my life. And I had my eyes closed the whole time because of how bright it is and so forth. But um, I felt like I was floating in a pool of God's peace. I mean, it was unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I now use my palm unit for everything. I have, my hands get a little arthritic and sore. So if I'm going to watch the evening news or something, I'll put the palm unit right on my hand, and 10 minutes later, the pain's gone. My right knee got replaced recently because of multiple sports injuries, but my left knee is getting arthritic and it's causing problems from time to time. But I put the palm unit on my knee. I sit there, read the Bible or the newspaper or whatever's going on for 10 or 15 minutes, get up to walk away, the pain is gone, and I'm walking pain free. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer that light therapy is God's plan to help heal our bodies, that when those light rays can get to the cellular level and energize those cells, then the cells start doing what they were created to do, and that's to heal us. It's amazing.
Yeah, and we're going to see each other this weekend,
Yeah.
Pioneer Fest. So we're actually going to have our technology there so that people can try it out. So everybody in the audience who's listening to this, except if you're listening to it online and you're in Taiwan or something, you can't come. But
Yeah.
uh, we'll be
Yeah.
in Angola, New York. Do you want to mention about that,
Yeah.
the Pioneer
Pioneer
Fest?
Fest. Pioneer Fest is a Christian music festival that our radio station is sponsoring. The best part is it's free, 100% free. Sponsors like SunPower LED have helped to make it all possible. So we want you to come, bring your friends. You're going to hear some incredible music. It all starts with a church service at 10:30 in the morning. If you can make that, great. If not, that's okay too. Just come when you can. Following the church service, there's going to be water baptisms around noon. We're going to have lunch. Concerts start at 12:30, and there's an incredible lineup of artists coming, including, by the way, John Waller of Waller Co. His entire family now plays with him. He wrote a lot of the music for Fireproof and the song
Oh,
While I'm
really?
Waiting. Yeah.
Okay.
He also did the music for War Room, the story
Oh,
about prayer.
excellent, excellent.
But he'll be there. Terrian is one of the featured artists. Terrian, of course, who was a backup singer for Toby Mac for years, now doing solo stuff. And then the headliner is John Reddick. John Reddick is an award-winning artist, and it's all free. Free Anderson's ice cream all day. But the thing is, you'll get a chance to meet the sponsors, and Tom will be there with his wife Monica. They're going to have the palm unit, the helmet,
The mini
the
canopy to treat the back.
yeah, you'll get a chance to see all of that, how it works. This really does matter because you get a chance to see it's not scary. There's no UV rays. You can't get cancer from this stuff. So it's an opportunity for you to try it, feel it, touch it, see it, and understand that this is what God created, light. Like vitamin D, we need that. We need, chlorophyll for the plants and however that works, Tom, you can explain that later. But, the point is there's power in light. And if you don't believe me that there's power in music, then sometimes sit in the front row at a Skillet concert, like you'll find out how much power is in music in sound waves.
Yeah.
Well, there's power in light waves, and Tom has found a way to harness that power. Forget about the Mickey Mouse stuff you can get on Amazon, by the way. People buy these Mickey Mouse light therapy units, high powered, efficient medical grade kind of stuff from Kerber USA and SunPower LED, of course. And so,
Yeah.
Tom, thank you for saving my life, brother. I love you.
Oh, thank you. And I would say around the other way around, the station was highly instrumental in after my as being an early Christian and in helping me to grow. So thank you
Amen.
for your station and all that you do,
Amen.
Neil. Thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, you can hear about SunPower LED on the Breakfast Blend with Zach, 6 to 10 Saturday mornings. My program, NBL, Neil Boron Live, is 2 to 6 weekday afternoons. And the National Crawford Roundtable podcast, which is a nationwide podcast. You can get that at crawfordmediagroup.net. And Tom and, Red Light Therapy from SunPower LED are one of our major sponsors. So
And
grateful for all of them.
we're going to be at Kingdom Bound together by the sound of it.
Yeah, I don't know which day it is. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm not
Tuesday,
sure.
the 28th. Yeah.
Okay, Tuesday at Kingdom Bound in the worship tent. If you come to Kingdom Bound, ask where's the worship tent. Everyone will know. And 2 o'clock each day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 27th, 28th, 29th of July, 2 o'clock each day. NBL will be live in the worship tent. And on Tuesday, Tom Kerber and SunPowerLED will be in the back of the tent with some of their devices, and you'll get a chance to see them there as well. Can't wait.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, thank you, Neil, for being on this podcast tonight, webinar, and
You're
so
welcome.
great. And come on out to Pioneer Fest. Come on out.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll
It's
see
by
you
the way,
Sunday.
it's in Angola, New York, which is literally right on the shore of Lake Erie, kind of directly across from Crystal Beach, Fort Erie area, but and Point Abano and all those places you might recognize. But yeah, we're on the U.S. side, Angola, New York, and as the final concert's playing, the sun will be setting into Lake Erie to remind us that God's power is real. And the sun comes up and goes down every day as it's meant to, and God created all that. Thank God for light.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah. Well, Neil, all the best. Thank you again.
Hallelujah. Thanks, Tom.
Okay, bye for now.
15 years back, I realized that light could make a huge difference on the body. I ended up designing this very powerful light using LED technology. With this amount of very high power density, it can reach through the tissues and travel right to the joints. But the key is that the power density and the area is extremely important to deliver that light into that. The mitochondria receives that light and converts that energy into the cell. So it's like giving the cell super high octane fuel, and they run like a jet, and they're able to do all the things for repair in that. What are the products we have? Well, we have a small device, which is actually large when it comes to light therapy. You have a fairly large area of light and a high power density that can be used for different parts of the body, like your fingers, shoulder, back, neck, knees, ankle, anywhere on the body. And then we have what's called the mini canopy, which is about a foot square in size. And then we have our full-size canopy, which is basically 6 of the mini canopies. And then we have another device, which is the helmet, and that device can help for mental issues, for brain injuries, for concussions, for PTSD, TBI, all of those kinds of things. And there's new research out there that shows it could be helpful for not only strokes, but dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's, and just different brain issues. Our plans are to move this technology into every area of the world where there's pain and inflammation, which is basically everywhere, and to expand that so people understand all the applications where this technology can be used to help them in their health in the body as a wellness device. People are looking for how they can treat themselves without drugs.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Neil. And now we have the second special guest, Hannah, on. Hannah, would you like to turn on your video and your audio?
Hello there, Tom. Thank you for
Hey.
having me.
Oh, hey, it's great to have you on. So,
So great to be here.
so Hannah, you decided to go to the Life Fest, but how did you? It's even amazing that you ended up going. So, what happened?
Yes, just to start off, I just wanted to say thank you again for having me on your webinar and just being able to be here today to talk about the magic that happened this weekend, meeting you and your lovely wife, Monica. Yes, my name's Hannah, and I was born and raised in Menasha, Wisconsin, and that is right near Oshkosh, where we had the lovely Life Fest this past week, where I met you and your wife. And yeah, that was my first time at that event there, and it truly felt like a blessing to be able to meet you because not only was that my first time there, your first time there,
Yep.
but my friend had invited me that I hadn't seen in over a year. So it was just kind of a meant to be connection that we were all there at that one time. And I like to call it either God wings or glimmers that feel like a moment was destined by God. Yes. And I actually that day I was suffering from a migraine. So I was able to go to your booth and I was interested in how infrared and red light therapy can affect the migraine. Yeah, we were just kind of interested in that and I was able to check that out with you.
Yeah, that was excellent. And then it was your friend that had heard something about migraines and got you over, right? Is that how it happened or something like that?
Correct, correct. He was a volunteer, and he did photography for inline speed skating, which is how we met. So he has followed my inline speed skating journey for the last 10 years and knew that I had suffered from a mild traumatic brain injury a couple years back during competition and knew that I suffered from chronic migraines and post-concussive syndrome. So
So what had happened? Like, did somebody get in your way or what happened? You wiped out somehow.
yeah, yeah. So first off, I ended up moving to Illinois to train for inline speed skating during COVID, which that was 2019, 2020, and it was my plan B to try to either make Team USA or NSC, which is um, like a professional league for inline speed skating. And this was about 7 years into my pursuit of following this dream and through 9 months of training and getting established there, we had our home meet, which had about 200 to 300 people competing and just being there for spectators. And during a three mix relay, a cone had gotten tousled up on the track. And within 2 seconds, it was underneath my skate and I was airborne. This was probably one of the fastest laps I have ever skated. So, in between 25 to 30 miles an hour indoors. And my head went straight into the floor, scorpion, my legs over my head. And then I went into the concrete wall. So, it was a double impact head injury.
Ouch.
Um, yeah, so I was unconscious on the floor. It was a really fast impact, double jostle. Yeah, and I was unconscious for about 10 to 15 seconds, I'd say. So at that point, you're looking at some trauma and minor damage to the head, to the neck, and that's something I've suffered with since April of 22.
Wow. And so you came to the was a Life Fest event and you had this migraine and amazing that you still came even though you got migraines because I mean it's not quiet music, not quiet peaceful music by any means when you
And
got bad.
I grew up in a place where music is just so special. Fox Cities and Appleton area is home to many of the most amazing music festivals that I've ever been to. And yeah, that's a part of me that I didn't want to lose, just because I had a head injury. So I do know how to keep my distance. I do know how to like advocate for myself in situations like that where I need to step aside. But at one point I didn't. So this has been a long time coming, and to be able to make it to this Life Fest Music Festival to be able to meet you was truly a blessing because 2 years ago I might not have went to this event.
And there was a
Yeah.
pile of people there. They figure there's on the upwards of 40,000 people there.
Wow.
And we ended up with a phenomenal booth. For some reason, something went kind of strange, and instead of us being parked in the back somewhere, we got front row center, kind of not in the band area. I mean, front row center where everybody who had to go to or wanted to go to any of the main musician events, band events, had to go past our booth which was a phenomenal. I think God blessed us with just an amazing. It wasn't supposed to work out that way, I guess. But
He put
yes,
you right where you needed to be.
yeah. So we had all these people going past us, and since I knew that we had some really good success with migraines, every time we've gone to a medical show, medical event somewhere, whether New York City, California, Phoenix, Arizona, Dallas, Texas, all over the place. I've been in this last year, a lot of different places, Orlando, Florida to have somebody walk up to you and say, I got a bad migraine, and we've been able to, in usually 8 minutes, shut down the migraine. So in your situation, you came up to the booth and told you about the light therapy and you weren't scared about doing the light, right? You or
No, I actually wasn't. So, through my long range of trying different things, trying this and that, and nothing being able to touch like the head pressure that I experience or we talked about the pressure behind the eyes. Yeah, it was just something that I was interested in trying because I was at the end of my rope, you know. I'm just open to trying anything at this point, and I was grateful, you know, that there was a booth right here in front of me. Um, advertising exactly what I was looking for, relief from a migraine that seems to never go away, you know. And many of your patients also had stated that during the time you were in Oshkosh. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it was incredible to
It
see and
was
hear that
fun to
from other
be,
individuals.
yeah, to hear some of the feedback from people right then and there. While you were getting that happening, somebody else was saying, my shoulder is better, and another person was saying,
Right.
my knee is better. It was a lot of fun. But in your situation for the last, we will be playing a collection of videos. It's short testimonials in a few minutes here. But in your situation, you had ever since the accident on that happened, you've had to deal with migraines all the time, right? It kind of it stays most of the time or all the
Yeah.
time. It never goes away.
It's a fluctuation and just something I manage throughout my weeks, throughout my days.
So sometimes
Um,
a little better and then worse and better and worse and kind of like that, or
Right. It's almost like a headband I wear every day. It's like sometimes I even explain it as like a fishbowl on my head because it sometimes affects my vision, sometimes affects how I'm hearing things, my perception. It's like I got a fishbowl on my head. And yeah, it's like jostling a bunch of water up here and just excess inflammation. But with your treatment, I came for two of them. So after about an hour, hour and a half, I came back to your booth and I reported that I'd say I was at a 2 versus a 4. And that's when we did the second treatment. And coming back after that, I really realized that a lot of that weight had been lifted off of like my shoulders, my neck, my head, and I didn't feel that headband pressure I felt every day. Even if it was mild, I was at a 0 to 1, just including behind the eye. So, it was an incredible experience just to have that much of a shift, knowing it's something I've experienced every day for the last 4 years.
wow. And so you had the migraine and you did the treatment and you ended up with zero. What day was that of the event?
That was Saturday. And I
Saturday.
think I met you first around 3:30. And
Okay.
by 7:30 at night when you were leaving, I was thanking you
Oh,
and
that,
just sharing my gratitude.
and since then, have you had any reoccurrences of the migraines?
No, not of the migraines, no.
And
And
this is Saturday, so
incredibly enough,
today is Tuesday. So you've actually had a few days of space without. Must
yes.
must feel wild.
It is. It is completely wild. I feel like I have, you know, more mental clarity, more mental resilience, no neck pain back here, which was another, you know, just everyday reoccurrence. It was like someone was gripping the back of my neck every day, and
And
it
then
feels
we
like that
didn't
pressure
we
is relieved.
Yeah, and didn't you use the light on the back of your neck? Was that you?
I
Or
did briefly. I did
yeah, and
briefly.
that helped a little bit more on that part just there. But you used the helmet first, and then yeah, and I think we did like 2 minutes of the red and 6 minutes of the near infrared for the treatment. Isn't that it's just beautiful. Hannah, I so much appreciate you coming on tonight to share your story because this is going to be encouraging a lot of people.
And God
Be,
bless everybody out there too. Thank you for having me. And I'm just so blessed that we were able to have this interaction and be able to meet here. So you and your wife have wonderful testimonies. So thank you for believing in me and also just being able to have me as, you know, a guest on your webinar.
Thank you. Just hang it. So we'll just ask you to turn off the video, but if you can hang in there, there may be a question for you or two. And I right now, thank you very much, Hannah. Just hang in there, and if we end up with a question, we'll ask you to come back on if you're okay. If you got a little more time.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Okay.
Tom.
All right. Very good. Okay, so now we're just going to just have a quick video with the type of devices we have, and then we're going to go to another very, very interesting collection of about migraines. So here we go.
I have migraines every day, and they range from like 2 out of 10 to like 8 out of 10.
Okay, and you had a mild one right
I
now.
had a little bit more of a mild one today, but I still had one.
Okay, where would it be? Like what number?
Today I had like more of a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10, and what happened just now?
It for sure took off more of the numbing, throbbing in the back of my head, and I can barely tell I have one. And it's a lot better right now.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Hannah, for sharing.
Of course. I'm doing great. I generally have a terrible migraine at this time of day, and right now I have no migraine.
Hey! Thank you, Lord, right?
Yes.
How you doing?
Good.
You're treating the back of your neck.
Yes.
Okay, but before you were using that helmet thing over there, right?
Yeah.
And what did I say over there?
Said you could get rid of my headache, my migraine.
And what do you think? You went under it?
Yeah, it worked, really. It comes out of my neck, it's tension. It's like a tension headache, and I have it
How often?
3 or 4 times a week.
Oh,
And sometimes all day long.
and so
And I take a lot of drugs for it.
long term, that's not good for you.
No, I know.
So, anyways,
This helped.
isn't that amazing?
It really is amazing.
Okay, all the best. Thank you again for sharing.
Thank you.
So, what happened on Thursday?
Thursday, I sat under the helmet for 8 minutes, only 8 minutes, and at that point I had a mild migraine, and since then I haven't had a single migraine at all. And generally, I have a terrible migraine at this point at Life Vest, listening to loud music constantly all the time, waking up weird hours, not getting good sleep. I'd be in misery at this point. But I feel great. I'm in no pain at all. And at this point, I generally would be in pain.
So, how long have you had the migraines?
I've had the migraines for about 4 years, I guess. I started my freshman year of high school, and I'm in college now, and I don't feel anything. It feels absolutely amazing.
This is fantastic. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Okay, but you came here with a migraine.
I did. It was probably about a 4 or 5. And this is something consistent in my everyday life that I carry with me. I suffered a mild traumatic brain injury during a speed skating competition about 4 years ago. And since then have gone through 60 months of therapy and a lot of recovery along the way. I still work with post-concussion symptoms and POTS. So since then I've had a diagnosis for POTS, and every day it's just kind of a challenge getting through life. So
Okay, and with the migraine that you started with a 4 out of 10 today?
I'd say so, yep.
Okay, and what's it feel like now?
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of relief and pressure around my skull, I'd say. I felt kind of the push and pull of the magnetic waves that I was feeling. And it was warming. It was a warming experience on the skull. So it was very just light, and I feel just a lot less tension, a lot less pressure.
And you had a lot of tension in your front eye area.
I'd say so, yes.
And then we did some,
down here.
and then we did some additional treatment around the eye with, or the front face,
Correct.
and that it seemed to help a little bit as well.
Yeah, because I usually have stiffness and tension in this part of my head and this part of my skull. When I landed, I went headfirst into the floor and then headfirst into the concrete wall.
Ouch.
So it was kind of double impact, and my brain bounced off of, the front of my skull and the back of my skull twice. So, yeah, just feeling some of that relief and pressure here and in the back of my skull just feels very nice. I know we spent a little more time here, but I'd say it was worth it for sure.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've always been struggling with a lot of headaches, like blood flow, like abnormal blood flow. So I was able to kind of try 2 different therapies, the one over the head
Yeah,
and just the handheld one here.
right?
And I feel a lot of relief for sure. I feel like I came in with a lot of tension and like heaviness. And right now I feel a lot lighter and ready for tonight to party.
Oh,
So-
excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Madeline. This is Joey. Hey, Joey, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing, man.
So tell me what happened.
All right, so I am a sufferer of a arachnid cyst, chronic migraines. The arachnid cyst is a brain fluid buildup. I've got it right behind my right eye, and I've been having migraines all day. Really, I've been having them constantly for the past 5 years now. And right now, I feel amazing. I haven't felt this way since before this cyst has started. I haven't felt this way in almost 6 years now.
Oh, this is fantastic. And you're going to watch a concert with loud music tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch Skillet tonight, and I'll come back to the stand afterwards and
Okay.
I'll tell you how I feel.
You came in here with a migraine, and you were at what, like an 8? What was your number out of 10?
When I first got here, my migraine was probably at an 8 out of 10.
About an 8 out of 10, okay. And then you did the light therapy with the helmet there?
Yep. And then now it's probably about a 2 out of 10.
Okay, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. So what did you end up doing today?
So I just did the whole head one, and it's absolutely insane. I've got a mild traumatic brain injury, and I have constant pain on my scalp for the last 24 hours. I haven't let, like, the pillows can't touch it, nothing can touch my scalp. And after 4 minutes of doing this, the pain's completely gone. And it's amazing, and I can't
When did you have the injury? So you had
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and
Yeah.
you've been dealing with this ever since.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Okay. Well, we're going to follow up with you
Yeah.
on how this is I'm able to touch it again. Last night I had this again, and I can feel the migraine going away already. Fantastic.
So good.
All right. Okay, thanks.
So good.
Hello, my name's Natalie, and I did the red light helmet to help with migraines, and I did that yesterday, and now I'm still sitting at a 0 for headache and tingliness on the top of my head.
Paige, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
That's good. What we're here at Life Fest, and what pretty neat, eh? All over. So, what did you do? What did you you used the light, the helmet?
Yeah.
And why?
I had a migraine, and like when I was sitting in it, like it started slowly going away, but like it was still there. But then like in the end, when I was waiting and sitting in there, it slowly started fading away, and it like faded away.
And when was that?
It was like, I think when we first got here, like
Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
And have you had any more migraines since?
No.
Do you have migraines more often, or is it just?
Usually I do, but no, I haven't had them in a while. I've had none since I've been here.
Since you did the treatment?
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. Hi, Anna. So, Anna, what happened? You've had migraines for a while?
For 5 years. I'm a domestic violence victim. I have a traumatic brain injury. I sat under this for 4 minutes, and I have no pain at all. And that has not happened for 5 years of my life.
It's beautiful.
I thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. So you did about 3 minutes of 4 minutes of the red and about 6 minutes of the near infrared. And you don't have times where the migraines go away?
No.
No.
I've never had it go away in 5 years.
Oh,
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, wow. Lots of questions. Okay, Hannah. Hannah, thank you so much. You can drop on here. If you saw, it was, I'm reading the notes here by, and Deborah writes, "Oh, wow, I'm crying." I tell you, I was having a hard time keeping that in when I saw that, when she told me that. I was just blown away by that. So yeah, and Laura's talking about what she was there, Laura at the event, and that was neat. So we'll go up to some of these questions. So somebody asked about how often can you use this the palm units, these guys here, and you can use them like every day. I have some people using it like 2 or 3 times a day on areas on their body. That, yeah, that's fine. No problem there. Sometimes even with the helmet, if you have access to it, to use it, every day if you can. And I've seen other brain stuff like the seizures. I had one girl with 10 to 15 seizures a day, and 7 years old, and she dropped down to 1 seizure a day right after using the first helmet treatment. So it's possible to, and she continued those treatments for about 2 months, and then she doubled the treatment time. So it's first only a minute and a half, if you can imagine that, for the 7-year-old girl, minute and a half, and she was down to 1 seizure a day. And then now she doubled up for the last two 2 months, and now it's down to 1 seizure every 4 to 5 days. So great stuff there too. Melvin is asking, what area target for type 1 diabetic? It can be helpful for the pancreas area. And you have to do some research on your own on exactly the positioning. But if you do anything like that, you do have to definitely track your insulin levels to see if you start improving, that you're also following, adjusting your insulin levels. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not suggesting anything here. Just if it was me, that's what I would be doing from our feedback that we've had from others. Okay, if migraines are triggered by fragrances, has anyone had success relieving these types of migraines? I'm not sure. I can't say that yet, but we have not had any issues treating migraines. It's like a very high percentage. As a matter of fact, Hannah, we had 12 people with migraines that came out to try our helmet, and only one was unsuccessful. And in her case, we usually seen the best results. I think you had done about 6 to 8 minutes, something like that. Do you remember?
I think I sat just a little longer the first time.
Because you still
Yeah,
weren't there yet.
right.
And we've done 6 minutes. We found we might, or 8 minutes, and usually 2 minutes of red and 6 minutes of the near infrared. But some people need it longer. And so in this case, this young woman, she was under the helmet for 3 minutes, and I just asked her the question. I says, "Are you noticing any differences, any changes?" And she says, "No." And I really have to get going, so I'm going to stop. So I mean, I couldn't help her. If you're going to walk away before half the treatment is done,
I mean, hey, some will, some won't. So
yeah.
what? You know?
And I will say I do believe in prayer too. And there was we had prayers for people when they came up, and I think that's key as well. And it's not like you haven't been praying for a while, for trying to get better. And sometimes those things can be years or decades, and it's really hard.
Absolutely.
So can the palm unit, there's a question here, can the palm unit be used on twice on the ears or sinuses as well? Yes, absolutely. We've had people doing longer treatments and having their sinus pain just kind of reduce, or they feel their drainage actually occurring by using the light on their sinuses. We got a lot of questions coming up. We're going to do this for about another 5 more minutes here. And let's see. Also, aneurysms or strokes. There's been some suggestion that you might want to avoid the first little bit with us, like immediate after the stroke, because there's an issue with possibly bleeding that could continue because light actually or helps stimulate blood flow. But I don't know. I can't answer that. But I do know that the sooner you get to treatment with the light, it helps the energy get into the cells and start helping the cells to work properly. Okay, so how much more effective is the 81050 configuration compared to the 810 if getting the helmet? We have had results with both 810, that's 810 nanometer, or 1050. The one that because we had a shortage of the super helmets, I had to take only the 810 helmet, the regular helmet with me. So I only had the regular helmet with me, the 810. So all those success stories were by using the regular helmet, the 660 nanometer wavelength, and the 810 for these treatments. So only one of the 12 actually did not respond. Everybody else, I missed one other video, but there's actually 10 videos in that collection so I got most of the videos of the people that were there. Okay, so Redhika is asking, I've got the palm for about a week and using it for my arthritis on my knees and foot and toe and palms. You will 1 to 2 times a day. I'd even bump it up to, if you can, 2 to 3 times a day. But how long does it take to see changes? And it does take time. Some people, it's faster. They notice they start getting more range of motion. But yeah, everybody's different, just like we heard there, and all the different conditions that trigger things. So, and I'm glad, Hannah, that you were able to answer Rossi's question, and that is, this is my first time experiencing the effects of red light therapy, and I'm interested in continuing the treatment. And there's an issue too. Sometimes there's cranial adjustments that can be very helpful that chiropractors do. I mean, it's a mixed bag of things that one might have to do to get better, but it seems like we've had some really good success. So while I read this, Hannah, do you have any other thoughts that has gone through your thoughts right now on
Just everybody's journey through healing and therapy or recovering from whatever they've experienced is different. But with the light therapy, I noticed a multitude of different injuries, ailments, just so many different backgrounds coming to you and experiencing relief. So that was really impressive just to hear all these different stories.
Yeah, we had people with ankle pain and people with knee pain and shoulder pain and back pain and neck pain. I mean, the only thing I said it couldn't get when there was a married couple there that came to us, I said it won't get rid of your pain, and I was pointing at her husband, being a pain.
Pain in the butt, yeah.
Yeah, so many Scott is thanking you for being on tonight. There's Deborah is thanking you and she's saying, God bless you. Yeah.
Yeah, God bless you all too. Thank you.
Um,
Seriously, it's such a blessing to be able to be on here tonight. It was really all a chance thing. It was God. So
yeah. Well, I described chance. I don't know about chance so much anymore. That I relate it
right.
to uh, you know what the coincidence, what the definition of coincidence is. Coincidence is when God remains anonymous. Uh,
I think I wrote that down from you. Yeah,
I
that was a
borrowed that.
special
Somebody else
moment.
told me that as well. There's a thank you from another fellow for the testimony from Neil and Tom about my testimony. Kyle, you're asking about Delafield, Wisconsin, about 90 minutes. Anyways, I wish I could come to the event. Yeah. What we're going to try and do is those that are listening to us from the Wisconsin area, maybe even Illinois. But if you have somebody out there that wants to work with us, there's a lot of people that came to Life Fest that I think would drive 2 hours to get another treatment to get that kind of benefit. If you're someone in that area and you think you could, you know somebody who's got a clinic or a chiropractor or a physio that would be interested in helping people with migraines, please reach out to us. As a matter of fact, anyone in our audience here tonight, if you have somebody with that would be interested, please talk to them and have them get in contact with me because, well, not only would we like to connect with people in that area, in the Wisconsin area, but also, and Wisconsin is a fairly big state too. But wherever we can help, we'd love to expand this. Yeah. We've people from North Carolina, all over the place. So got Cheryl coming through from Hamilton. We got Sarah saying hi, and Connecticut is in tonight. North Carolina. We got people from all over the place. Another person from North Carolina. Well, fantastic. You guys all joined us tonight. Well, Hannah, I want to thank you for being on tonight. That was phenomenal. And was it kind of strange to see your video up there
It
in
it was
the
a little bit. And
Hey,
the
that's
girl that
me.
was, yeah, the girl with that experienced treatment on Friday, I actually saw her on the big screen as I was walking past the stage, So I saw your advertisement up there and I was like, "Hey, that's who I just talked to," And yeah, just experiencing that and seeing other people also see your treatment is really amazing. So thanks for coming to Wisconsin for one, all the way from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was truly a blessing to be able to meet you and be on here tonight. So thank you. And thank you to all
Sure.
your guests for listening.
Yeah, and I'll just say as well, we are on both sides of the border. We have a location in Buffalo, Amherst, New York. And so, there's no issues getting product. We can ship anywhere in the world. So if you're watching, I know 2 weeks ago, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, we had somebody from Taiwan on, and we've had New Zealand and different other locations beyond. So, anyways, thank you to all the being on tonight. Our next webinar will be next Tuesday, and next Tuesday I'm going to actually do that from a remote location. It's going to be pretty wild. So, anyways, we're going to be at actually next Tuesday. We're going to be at another event. A little different. It's called Kingdom Bound in come on, Darien Lake in New York. and there's likely going to be another 40,000 people there. So it's going to be a great event. So if you want to come out, if you happen to be in the New York area, you're listening to this, or even a little bit of a drive from well, Michigan's quite the drive, but I'm trying Pennsylvania. Do join us in on Tuesday of next week, and I'll be doing the next webinar from that location on Six Flags Darien Lake, and I'll just have to find a quiet corner somewhere to probably do this thing. So anyways, thank you everyone. Have a great evening, and I'm so glad you were able to join us. And we'll try and, if you have any questions, by the way, please go to email info@sunpowerled.com, info@sunpowerled.com. You can also go to our YouTube channel where you'll be able to pick up this video that we played tonight. I just got to get turned on tomorrow, and you'll be able to share that with others. Please go to our website there and or our YouTube channel and subscribe, so that you can find out immediately when the next videos are up, and share them with others. And then I'm also going to ask you, please remember to not only subscribe, but also like. If you can click the like button, it really helps us to get the word out about what light therapy can do. So anyways, I wish everybody God's richest blessings. Have a great evening. Bye for now.